Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Chick Smooth. Glad you guys are enjoying the content. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you can know when I post. I post really often, about 4 times a day, alright? So, if you're enjoying this content, hit the Cash App if you want to donate. Subscribe to my channel. Let's get right into this one.
10 years ago, we started doing that. So I'm not like, I don't have some sort of weird, like, antagonism to LiDAR. However, for driving on real world roads, you have to solve vision. You have to solve vision, basically understanding objects with passive optical photons, and then making sense of the so like vision perception. What do those objects mean? What are they going to do? What is the likely path of travel? And then control, and all of that really is AI. The way we're doing it is by running a bunch of neural nets in our head. So we got to run a bunch of neural nets to do the same thing in the car. And the point at which you solve passive optical, and this is better passive optical than a human has, because you've got 8 cameras, 3 of which point directly forward, and 2 that are diagonally rear, and 1 rear. So the way we do it right now is we have all 8 cameras synchronized with, so you've got 8 frames collected simultaneously, and we're moving towards, and have in fact mostly moved towards video training. So you've got 8 surround cameras. It's like kind of a surreal thing to see, because people look, really. People have 2 eyes, but kind of like really more like 1 eye, because the 2 eyes kind of combine. But anyway, the neural net is basically, it needs to move to full video training, video inference, surround video training, surround video inference, and then it will be superhuman, no question about it. There's just because people don't have eyes in the back of their head, like they can't. You basically have effectively a human, for all intents and purposes, it's like having 1 camera on a slow gimbal, and that is often distracted, and maybe sort of drunk, or change the radio, or they fall asleep, or there's all sorts of things that go wrong. There's no question that you can be superhuman with just cameras. It's going to go with sort of active photon generation. I would recommend something in the occlusion penetrating wavelengths. So like radar, it's sort of roughly 4 millimeter radar, or something like that, would be better if you're going to really delve into the arena of active photon generation.
Wow. Okay. That's amazing. Okay. Also, I love how deep you got into that. It was super, super fun. All right. I'm going to switch topic just a bit. I would say it's safe to say a lot of people are very interested in how you work. And you often, for example, describe yourself as an engineer. So walk us through, it's Monday morning, you wake up. What does a typical work day in the life of Elon look like?
I guess I wake up and see if there are any emergencies on text or email, and often there are. I mean, a ton of what I deal with is not actually fun or interesting. It's like chores. So I've tried really hard not to do my chores, but then if I don't do my chores, things go to hell. So, oh man, you have to do chores. So, yeah, basically.
I'm a bit relieved that Elon Musk basically has the same schedule as the rest of us. We all do so, and you do too. And it's kind of, there's something just really relieving just hearing you say that.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much how it goes these days. I do enjoy the in-person meetings more than email. In fact, I think I'm getting like a slight negative limbic reaction to email. It's killing me. Texts are way better to deal with, and then in-person meetings are much better. Even Zoom meetings or whatever, they're still better than email. Anything's better than email, frankly. So anyway, I'll have a bunch of meetings. I'll write email, write text, especially if it's like an email to the group, like saying, hey, I think we need to change direction, do the following things. And let me know if you think otherwise, but otherwise we've got to do these things and get our act together in this area or that area. And then, a bunch of meetings. Most of my meetings are engineering and design. But of course, we have to deal with finance and, sales and other things. And, the things that are necessary for a company to function. And then there's quite a lot of context switching. So he sent me the meme of like, fear is not the mind killer, context switching is the mind killer, which I totally agree with. Context switching is a real bear. So just try to basically try to do less context switching. So maybe focus on one thing for an hour and then another thing for another hour. It's really hard to context switch between SpaceX and Tesla and all the things that are going on in SpaceX and Tesla. And then Neuralink, Boring Company, which fortunately pretty low bandwidth. They don't take a high level of CPU load because they're smaller. And there's personal stuff and of course memes. Gotta get.
That's important. How to schedule them in.
Like, where's my meme? We're expecting a meme by now.
You're calling up your meme dealer for your hit of memes. I love it.
Exactly.
Elon, earlier last year, I spoke to Mark about how he spends his time, and Mark talked about, when he was younger, he used to have large blocks of open time on his calendar, and I think a lot of, well-known founders have large blocks of open time with schedule time. Now you are unique because you have multiple companies you're running. You're also much more of an engineer than traditional CEOs. What does your calendar look like? Are you allocated 30 minutes back to back? You have a lot of open space. How do you handle it?
I don't have a lot of open space. It's generally back-to-back meetings, and it's insane. My days are like insane torrents of information. Sometimes people, if you want to like audit what I do for a day, it's insane. I don't recommend it. I was thinking like, man, how long can I keep this up? Because I don't want my brain to explode. And it's like the meetings that are scheduled are not like nice to have meetings. They're like, this meeting is essential. Like, okay. It's pretty intense. I was thinking like maybe I should like at some point like take a week off or something, clear my mind. Or like I know there's like a bunch of people like writing books on Tesla and SpaceX, for example. Like it's pretty hard for them to get it right because they just weren't there. And maybe I should like write some like book of my experiences that has like all the foolish mistakes I've done and like some advice for others that might be helpful.
I think so. A book, a documentary. I think I remember once hearing about how do you still sleep on the floor of your factory? I remember you used to at one point in time.
I did. I only if there's like a crisis situation. And I actually, it's like basically when the team is being asked to really work super hard, I got to be right there with them, and they got to see it. Seeing is believing. And so if I'm just sleeping in the middle of the factory floor, and sort of going to sleep at 4 a.m, like waking up like 4 hours later, and like they literally see me, they walk past me. It's not like hidden or anything. And it's like, okay, CEOs willing to fucking take that level of pain, then they'll do it too.
I was going to say, when you first said you slept in the factory, I figured, there must be like an executive floor or something, and you must have like the couch, and it must be like a nice setup. And then, when I came over to see you that one time, it's like you have your conference room is literally literally in the middle of the factory. And like the giant, sure, I'm pardon my swearing, but I have to. The giant fucking robots are like 15 feet away.
Yeah.
And they're pounding metal, and it's like ear splitting, and your factory is like literally, or your room is like literally right in the middle of them. And then at least I saw your like sleeping bag in the conference room, so I assume that's where you're sleeping. And I didn't see any of the rooms. Like,
yeah,
so it's not just sleeping in the middle of the factory. It's like that's intense.
Most of the time, I did not sleep in the conference room because people could not see me in the conference room. So I slept on the floor outside the conference room. Because otherwise, how do people know? You know, they don't know. Seeing's believing. So I mostly just sleep on the floor outside the conference room so they could see that I was there.
Yep, that's an even more advanced level.
Yeah, that's world of hurt. And I always would wake up and smell like oil and iron filings. it was rough. Yeah, but I was asking people to really go all out, you know, and I can't expect them to go all out if I'm not doing the same thing. That's super interesting because when people think, again, I'm not saying this is a bad thing.